Hello and welcome to Prudent Media News. First a look at the headlines. Vigilance Department suspends 4 senior officials, DYSP Shamba Sawant and 3 PWD engineers suspended. 1 more officer likely to be under suspension by Monday. Supreme Court's verdict on RTE worries unaided private schools. 160 unaided schools to meet on 20th April to discuss the Apex Court verdict. Directorate of Panchayat issues corrigendum correcting discrepancies in the delimitation of wards. Government's team to install 11 softwares for panchayats for transparency. Notification on Panchayat poll likely to be out by Monday. Regional plan and MOI issues out from the purview of Code of Conduct. And GBA tells government to rectify Regional Plan 2021 for 153 panchayats, suggests denotification and rectification to 13 panchayats in parts. And now the news in detail. Vigilance Department has suspended 4 senior officials on Friday. DYSP Shamba Sawant has been placed under suspension for sexual harassment of a lady police constable, while 3 engineers from the PWD have been suspended for construction of road without NOC of the owner at Wante in Sattari. Another officer is likely to be suspended by Monday. 4 government officials have been placed under suspension by Vigilance Department on Friday. DYSP Shamba Sawant has been placed under suspension for sexual harassment of a lady police constable from Crime Branch. 3 officials of PWD have been placed under suspension for construction of road without NOC of the owner at Wante Sattari. The officials have been placed under suspension as per directions of the Chief Minister. Lady Constable had complained to her senior officials against DYSP Shamba Sawant for sending lewd text messages on the mobile. Goa Police's Sexual Harassment Committee inquiring into the complaint by a lady police constable had stated in its report that the conduct of the DYSP towards the LPC was unwelcomed, unwanted and unprofessional. A reporter from Panji, Navdeep Aguirre. The Supreme Court's verdict on right to education has sent tremors among the unaided schools in Goa. Around 160 unaided schools will have a meeting on 20th April to discuss the Supreme Court's verdict and decide the future course of action. Apex Court verdict makes it mandatory for the private and unaided schools to admit from the current academic year at least 25% students from socially and economically backward families.
According to sources in Education Department, the problem of number of schools does not exist in Goa, nor there is any problem of any discrimination on the basis of caste and creed in schools. Unlike states like UP and Bihar, there are no separate classes for students belonging to weaker section of the society in Goa. The question is how to accommodate the student in private schools. Sources in education also raise a question as to how government will bear the cost of each student when private schools charge exorbitant fees. Unaided schools in the state will clear their stand on the matter only after government's order, if any, following the Supreme Court's judgment. Meanwhile, around 160 unaided schools in the state will have a meeting on 20th April to discuss the Supreme Court's verdict and to decide the future course of action.
We are still not very clear with what is going to happen. So we have called a meeting of all our members on the 20th of April and we will discuss about it and see how to go around it. Because what we understand from the Ministry of Education in Goa and the Directorate of Education in Goa, that Goa is quite comfortable because Goa has many number of schools, private, unaided, aided, government schools, and the number of students are not so many. There is not much of situation about getting into private schools or other schools.
Most of the managements of the unaided schools have opted to be mum. They have opted to wait and watch policy. However, President of Vidya Vikas Mandal Ramesh Kare has termed it as disastrous.
The 25% reservation to the poor students is going to be disastrous, particularly for unaided schools, because unaided schools are not depending on any funds as far as the government is concerned.
On Thursday, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutional validity of the Right to Education Act and directed all schools, including privately run schools, irrespective of the board they are affiliated to admit from the academic year 2012-2013 at least 25% of students from socially and economically backward families. The court has, however, sought a clarification from the government on applicability of RTA Act to boarding schools and orphanages, as the legislation applied only to day scholars. Bureau Report, Prudent Media.
Goa would be a model state for a full-scale rollout of e-governance initiatives of central government covering health, education and citizen service delivery of public services. High-level team of central government has arrived in the state for launching 11 softwares under Panchayat Enterprise Suite for Panchayats in the state. Directorate of Panchayat has also issued corrigendum for correction of discrepancies in the notification marking delimitation of wards.
High-level teams of central government have come to the state for launching of 11 softwares under Panchayat Enterprise Suite for Panchayats in the state. Advisor of Prime Minister Sam Pitroda observed that Panchayats in Goa are already connected with broadband network. Pitroda hence desired to make Goa a model state for a full-scale rollout of e-governance initiatives of central government. National Optical Fiber Network project seeks to connect all panchayats of the country through broadband connectivity. Director of Panchayat Minino D'Souza said that National Optical Fiber Network project is needed for all the panchayats in the country for accountability and transparency.
That is a central government initiative where there are around 11 softwares. 11 softwares in the sense there are different types of software which take different works. Like if there is a accounting software, it is called that Prisoft. Then there is something known as local government directory, under which all the sarpanch's name, whatever is there related to the panchayats is listed over there. Then there is Plan Plus. Plans of the panchayats are computerized. So like that there are around 11 softwares. So this software's training and all is provided by central government, as well as manpower, support, whatever is required they are given by central government. And there are difficulties which you have told them, like for example, every panchayat has to feed their data on that, for which you require data entry operators, or we have told them we can outsource this work. They have agreed to it. So initially to get on the bandwagon we have to have this backlog data fed on this software. It is a need for all the panchayats in India. It is computerizing your work, and plus accountability, transparency is the accountability. And Goa being a small state, we can definitely do it.
Meanwhile, Directorate of Panchayat has also issued corrigendum for correction of discrepancies in notification of delimitation of wards.
That is corrigendum. When we have received complaints from people that certain discrepancies have been made, we have referred back to the BDOs, and wherever BDOs have said that this is a mistake, this has to be corrected, we have issued a corrigendum and corrected. There are 70-80 complaints I think on this.
Our reporter from Panji, Navdeep Agiyar, with video journalist Prajot Pednekar.
Notification on Panchayat poll will be out likely by Monday. State Election Commissioner M. Mudassir, while speaking to Prudent Media on the Code of Conduct, made it clear that the major issue like the MOI and regional plan will not come under the purview of Code of Conduct. However, government will not be able to announce or initiate schemes like Ladli Lakshmi and other populistic welfare schemes. Manohar Parrikar had sought clarification from the Election Commission on the issues, works and schemes that can come under the purview of Code of Conduct and outside its purview.
Code of Conduct, I have requested the Election Commission to be very specific in Code of Conduct. We should be now very specific. Anything which impacts Panchayat election should come under the code. Which does not impact Panchayat elections should not come under code. Taking a decision on regional plan does not come under code according to me. You will not be able to do anything.
Election Commissioner informed that the notification on Code of Conduct for Panchayat poll will be out likely by Monday. There will be no recruitments
returning officers cannot be transferred, police officers cannot be transferred, misuse of official machinery will not be allowed. He also informed that issues like regional plan, medium of instruction, intra-village work, essential posts like appointments of doctors, teachers in engineering, medical and architectural colleges will not come under code of conduct. He also clarified that issues like inter-village work which can affect the panchayat poll will come under code of conduct. Recruitments initiated by the earlier government will be halted. Welfare schemes will be under code of conduct. No new populistic schemes can come into force. Our reporters in Panji, Lokik Shilkar and Greta Menezes.
It's time for a short break. Stay tuned.